Good evening, everybody. This is Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for coming aboard. Tonight we have a special guest. He can be seen in many promotions such as One Division Pro, SWO, NAW. He is the former BCW heavyweight champion. He comes from the NYC. He is the smooth operator, BD Big Daddy Cruz. How's it going tonight, my guy?
I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on, man. Thank you for taking giving me the opportunity. I just threw the smooth operator in there because you said your interest in music is smooth operator, so we'll throw that in there for you. So, who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Yeah, it works for me.
You're freezing up. You there?
Yeah. Is it better?
All right. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I'm here.
So who were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Favorite first off was Shawn Michaels. He caught my attention and of the whole high flying aspect of it. But once I got more into wrestling, it was the Yokozunas, the Bam Bam Bigelows, the Vaders that really caught my attention and go from seeing these muscular guys, but seeing these big, husky wrestlers that are just moving in ways that can't really move or I haven't seen done before. That captivated me.
Awesome, man. So who had the greatest influence or impact on your wrestling career or your life in general?
I mean, my life in general was my father. We didn't really talk much, but when we did, it was mostly about wrestling. So that kind of made me get more attached to wrestling. Once I got into the actual wrestling, it was actually meeting Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle that they looked at me and they pretty much gave me the nudge, like, "Hey, man, if you want to do it, go for it. Like, there should be nothing stopping you."
Awesome, man. So when did you decide, hey, I want to be a pro wrestler?
I always wanted to do it as a kid, but when I was in college, me and my college buddy decided to just throw a match on just because we didn't know what we were doing. We just beating the crap out of each other.
There you go.
And then after it was over, a lot of people came up to both of us and goes, "I think you guys should try it." So, I just said, "Yeah, why not?" And I went back home and I was on the bus and a student from my future wrestling school actually saw me with a wrestling shirt on. It was a Nexus shirt. And he goes, "Hey man, do you look like you could be a wrestler. Do you want to try it?" I go, "This has to be fate." Yeah, I go, "Why not?" He goes, "Here." He gave me the address for the school. I went there the following week and the rest was history.
All right, man. So that leads to the next question. What wrestling school did you go to train at, and how hard was it to become a professional wrestler?
I went to the House of Glory training school in Queens, New York.
Okay.
The Amazing Red was a trainer, so that made it even more sweeter.
Yeah.
Um, it was hard because I thought I was one of those guys that, oh, I could pick this up no problem. And the first day of taking bumps, and I hit my head so many times. And I had a real crash course. Like, all right, this is not as easy as I thought it would be, but I stuck with it. And the more I was in there, the more I did get accustomed to it, and I'd never stopped ever since.
Man, I was gonna save this question till later on, but you said you took some hits and banged your head a couple times, and so it brings to light the question that you hear all as a wrestling podcast person and some talking to wrestlers and talking to fans. What do you say to these fans or these people that say what you guys do is fake?
I mean, I invite them to try it because with all the training that we do, we make it look smooth, we make it look easy, and it's easy to criticize from the opposite side of the guardrail. But once you get in it, I mean, it's a whole different animal, and you see firsthand how this isn't easy, this isn't for everybody, and it really takes skill and art to put on the performances that we're doing in there. So Criticize all you want, but if you want to try and you think you're better, come on down, give it a try.
All right, there you go. So, is there a certain set of skill sets that you need to become a professional wrestler?
Body control. Um,
Okay.
it's not easy taking a bump. It's not easy having your feet go in a certain way. If you don't have full control of your body and you're not comfortable throwing yourself, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have a really tough time. I've seen a lot of guys that had passion for it, but once they didn't get the proper steps in, it was 10 times harder for them and they wind up leaving. So you
Yeah.
really have to be comfortable with yourself and uh, be loose in there. Have fun.
Have fun. That's probably the key, right? So,
Mhm.
is there any close friends that you have in the industry that you bounce ideas off of, or that you get support from?
Two guys. We have an independent guy named Smiley, who I believe is one of the most innovative wrestlers I've ever seen. Where everybody goes to him for ideas, and he's constantly put up different ways to do different moves, and I just find him captivating. And I have a close friend with Mark Quinn from Private Party, who he'll see my matches and he'll break it down, and he'll make me see matches in a way I've never would want to see it. And he's teaching me at the same time instead of breaking it down or critiquing me heavy. He's helping me see it from a different point of view.
That's awesome, man. What type of matches are your favorite matches?
I like the Japanese hard style, strong style. Just
Yeah.
go in there and be rough and tough. But I also appreciate the technical aspect of rolling on the ground and just putting in these different submissions and all the techniques that go into it. That you're not just going in there doing whatever comes to mind. You're in there, and these technicians are really thinking and putting your body in maneuvers and twists and turns that you never think about. But when you see it, it's go, wow, that was
Yeah.
amazing.
So you've been all over. You've been through several promotions, been in some dark matches, been in stuff like that. Is there anybody that you enjoyed working with the most that just feels you and that's just so comfortable and so smooth?
Not really one person that stands out. I had about 3 or 4 matches that really mean a lot to me because we just went in there and tore it up. Even guys who I'm in training classes with that I see them coming up and I'm amazed by what they're doing. Nothing jumps to mind besides my match with Dark, where I was in there with Billy Gunn and it was a surreal moment. Like, oh man, I'm in here with a WWE legend. Like, uh, this has to be fate. You couldn't take me away from that moment.
How good is he?
Oh, he's great. He's so great, and talking with him before and after is just the person you see on TV is not the person that's in front of you. He's just a whole different type of guy, and very great to talk to.
Awesome, man. So are you a heel or a face? Which one do you prefer to be?
I mean, most places I'm a face because my character, my interests and stuff like that. But there are a few promotions where I'm allowed to heal it up or tween in the middle, and it's fun being a heel because once I can feel the fans more, and if I feel them going against me, I could play on that emotion,
Right.
and I start being sarcastic in the ring to where I want them to hate me more. As a
Okay.
face, it's I have to keep them on my side, so it makes it a little bit rougher, but
Right.
I have fun as a heel.
Awesome, man. So you're a heel right now, then.
No, I'm a face most places.
Yeah. So have you ever, I mean, rubbed elbows? I know you say Billy Gunn and all that. Anybody else in the AEW, WWE, and how does that affect? How has that affected your ability in the ring, learning from those guys?
Like I mentioned earlier with Mark Quinn, he makes you think a different way, and sees it from a different point of view. I've had conversations with Mick Foley, who he happened to be a part of the indie show I was a part of, and he saw my match and he just pulled me to the side. He said he was blown away with the things I've done, and he's never seen things in a long time for a guy my size. So and he gave me little intricate little things to do to make it just a little bit better, and those are the moments that I cherish the most, to where he can just pull me to the side and have, a legend. Just he didn't have to pull me to the side and talk to me, but he chose to. And it shows that all right, maybe I'm doing something right.
That's awesome, man. I gotta say this: that promo video I put together at the end, there's that you backflipping off that rope, and I'm like, holy shit! So, dude, you're athletic. I can tell that. I mean, that was
Uh,
a heck of a move. So,
I appreciate it. That was the first time I've hit it. I've done it to where I miss it or whatever, but that's the first time I actually hit it, and it felt so good to go. Yes, I
you
finally
nailed
did
it,
it.
man. You like nailed that. I was like, whoa, dude. And a man the size is you're about the size of me, and I'm like, holy crap. So that was pretty intense. That was pretty cool. So, let me see. So, yeah, have you ever been around the wrestling during the COVID and all this stuff, and was a pretty dead crowd. And so, is there a difference performing in front of a dead crowd compared to performance in front of 300, 200 people? For you, is the energy there? Oh, how hard is it to do that?
It's different. Not having the usual amount of crowd there. That you and your opponent really have to do something to keep the pace up to get everybody involved. And I happened to wrestle when I did my AW dark match. It was during the COVID time, so it wasn't a lot of fans there that would usually be there. So that aspect was taken away in a bit, but to perform in front of the other wrestlers as fans there was still pretty exciting because I was able to get more eyes that I wanted to get on me to watch it. And same thing with the independents. It's hard when there's not a crowd there because of especially a global pandemic. It makes things different. It makes you think about matches differently. But now with the fans back, it goes go back to neutral and you know what to do from there.
So that was on a Daly's place when you did the dark match.
Yes.
Cool. We had the opportunity to go there for Mark Tequila and Taco Festival this week, this year. So it's pretty cool. Never
Okay.
been there before. So I work with kids, and I was sitting around the table with them, and they had some questions. So we're gonna go to their questions now, and we'll jump back into the wrestling stuff. So,
Okay.
what would you be watching if you had the day off, and Netflix and chill? What would you be watching?
Honestly, I think it's been a while since I sat down and just watched old school Looney Tune cartoons.
Looney
I
cartoons.
love the
There you
old
go.
Bugs Bunny stuff
Which movie have you seen the most?
the most. Ooh, The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Which actor should play you in a movie about your life?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. There you go. That's good. What's your favorite musician or band?
Um, I got really into Dave Matthews. I'm
Okay.
pretty shocking. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Dave
Okay.
Matthews.
We just had pizza tonight. We got pizza every Thursday. So pineapple on your pizza? Yes or no?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. What three items would you take if you were stuck on a desert island?
Ooh, a baseball to throw. A TV if there was electricity, and a jump rope just to pass
All right.
time by.
All right. What's your secret talent?
Ooh, cracking my body. I can crack my ears and elbows pretty well.
Ears and elbows, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your most annoying habit?
Ooh, I snore a lot.
Okay. If you weren't a wrestler, what would you be?
Hmm, that's a hell of a question. If I wasn't a wrestler, I would probably be a psychologist.
Okay. What wrestling match not involving you do you watch the most?
Hmm. Probably The Rock and Steve Austin, WrestleMania 19.
You study that to put into your game, or
It's just the entertainment aspect of it, and those two just brawled. It wasn't really wrestling; it was just two guys just brawling, telling a great story.
right? Do you have a pre-match ritual? Do you have something you do before you go out there? Is there something special?
I keep to myself. Like once I have everything pretty much mapped out, I play a song or two. I play the Top Gun theme right before I go out there to get me
Okay.
pumped up.
So now you guys in the back of the Indies and then back at the AEW Dark Show or whatever. Was there any pranksters that any just prankster wrestlers that
Uh, no, not at not at AEW. That was more everybody, whoever is in a clique, they stay with each other. Um, and the indie guys, we have a lot of guys that if you mess with them, they'll take your bag and hide it somewhere around the building.
all
So try
right.
not to get no one's bad side.
Sure. What's the weirdest fan request you've ever had? Because I believe that you're probably yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I've had uh very older women send me certain pictures
Oh,
um because of my character and whatnot and want to date me, and they're more or less twice my age, so that's always interesting.
yeah, it is. So, so talking about fans, how important are fans to you with the merch table, the interactions, even during the match and after the match? How important is for you as a wrestler?
It's very important because they let me know if I did a good job or not. If I'm at a show and I didn't do a particularly a good job, not maybe not a lot of people will come up to me and talk to me. Um, on the shows that I do a good job, I have everybody wanting a picture or giving me a hug, or telling me that I'm their favorite wrestler or it was awesome to see me. So fan interaction is very much important.
Is there a dream opponent you would like to see do like to wrestle against one?
It was Kurt Angle before he retired, but currently it would probably be Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega. Yeah. Did you watch last night Blood and Guts?
Yes. Oh
That
God,
was
the
sick.
way they I've seen them be brutal, but they took brutality to a new level. My
That
God.
was ridiculous. I was like, what? I was like, no way. This
Wait, how do
so
they think of this stuff?
yeah, AEW, WWE.
AW.
AEW. Okay. You, so how's your family and friends support you during your decision to be a wrestler and as you pursue your career?
From the family aspect, my little brother was very much behind me because we grew up very close. I have five other siblings, but me and him are the closest. So he always knew I can do it. My mother was dead set against it. You know, she doesn't want her baby boy to get hurt and whatnot, and still doesn't today. My sisters and my older brothers and sisters, they go, all right, yeah, go ahead, do it. Friends, my friends are for the most part supportive. Like when they see me put up videos of what I'm doing, and a lot of them congratulate me or say, I know the ones who were always behind me from the beginning to the ones that pretend to be. Um, but yeah, I've gotten nothing but positivity.
Mom, I'm coming to watch your matches at all.
Some of them came out their way. Like we don't all live close by, but some of them did make trips to come see me.
So we talked about your training and that where you trained at. So can you recall the first training session and just tell us about that?
Yeah, I thought I was a know-it-all, and I jumped into the ring, and the trainers weren't there yet, so a lot of the veteran guys were there, and I go, "Oh, I can moonsault." They said, "All right, give it a try." And I got to the top rope and I slipped right off. So when I hit the mat, they looked at me. They go, "Are you learning now?" I go, "Yes." And they go, "All right, get outside, and we're going to start from the beginning." And we just did lockups for the rest of the time. And they pretty much told me, "Stay off the top rope until we tell you it's time." And from then on, after that first mistake, I shut up and I did whatever I was told.
Awesome, man. So you had the opportunity to wrestle AEW and you had the opportunity to you wrestle throughout the indies. So the first question I have is you get called up, you get a job, you say, okay, we gotta be here this date, we're gonna wrestle this person. What was your feelings the first time you walked through that curtain?
Nervousness. And still today, when I go out there, I aim to have the best match of the night. That never fails. I never want to coast through a match. I never want to take it easy. I give it all. So, especially when if I'm in a new promotion, I'm just nervous that everything works out well, which is why whoever works for me, they realize that I'm very serious when we're going over the match and we're talking about everything. I'm very business. Once the match is over, I'm the most happy, carefree guy around. But until then, the moment I walk into the building, the most important thing is having the best match, and I have to make sure I do it, whether it's my fault or not. I put it on my own shoulders.
So I'm gonna go ask the same question. I believe I would know the answer, but maybe not, maybe not. Was that nervousness the same nervousness you felt when you went up against um the gun, Mr. Gunn? Or was it were you
Uh, yes and no. It wasn't my regular nervousness. It was All right, I'm in the top one of the top promotions right now. Everything is being critiqued because they don't know me. So I have to do what I'm supposed to do while making it look good. So it wasn't nervous about having the best match or anything. It was nervous that I got the point across of what I'm supposed to do and making sure that the other person on the other side believes that I'm supposed to be here. So it was a whole different nervousness. But once I got out there, it was, everything was just ready, set, go.
Was Mr. Gunn happy with your performance?
Oh yeah, for the most part, I did my job, what I was supposed to do. There was a spot in there because they don't realize, they don't know me all that well. And my finisher, one of my finishers is the clothesline from hell. So they was like, yeah, just throw a clothesline in there, see what happens. In my head, I'm like, okay. But when I went for it, oh god, I took Austin's gun head off, and I didn't mean it. It just came out because I do it so naturally. So I found out that Billy was shocked when I did it because, of course, it's his, his son and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it was, is he okay? Is everything all right? And everything was fine. But he gave me some pointers after, but it was more I got him on the shock value.
Yeah.
And that was, it was pretty good. As long as it wasn't negative, I was fine with it.
How's Tony Khan?
Great guy.
Yeah.
Didn't know me from a hole in the wall, but he made it his business to come, shake my hand, said thank you for coming here, and he makes you feel welcome.
I had to ask that question because he gets late here all over TikTok. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes AEW, and I'm like,
Yeah,
and I mean, he gets the shit. He gets ragged out all the time, and I'm like, you know, what's he gonna do? He puts on a great show. I mean, last night was a banger of a show, but
mhm.
let me
Yeah, I
see.
believe he gets the wrong side of the deal sometimes. Maybe some of his eccentricities may come off differently that people aren't accustomed to, but you know, people are ready to, crap over him when he's doing nothing wrong. He's harmless. Like let
Right,
him put on the show he wants to put
right. I mean, he got a lot of heat with the CM Punk scrum and the
on.
backstage stuff that happened. So,
Yeah.
is the backstage stuff that serious, or in your opinion, should wrestlers start listening to the guys that are in back, like the Jake the Snakes, like the Stings, like the all those old guys, the veterans that they're got to be pretty knowledgeable what they do, and obviously they made a career out of it. So
Mhm.
are they necessary? Should people listen like you listen to those guys?
No, me personally, I would listen. I think it's a clash of the guys that are there and the environment that they're creating, and then you have the older guys that saw the business in a certain way and they're trying to apply it to the new school of how things are. Me personally, I would listen to a Jake Roberts, Billy Gunn, all the old school guys that's back there. If they can give me knowledge that I don't think about, because like when I watch the dark side of the ring and I see some of these things, I go, wow, I never thought of it like that. Or I didn't know how crazy it was back then. Um, so I believe it's very important listening to those guys because they can give you knowledge that you're definitely not getting nowhere else. And the combination of, if they're veteran guys there, of the younger variety, taking what they have to say. And then it's up to you to pretty much gauge, which way to follow. But absolutely, I do appreciate the older school's version of how things are and what and any improvements that they want to throw at me.
Okay. So you're the former Bay State heavyweight champion. Is that correct?
No, the current Big State
Current.
championship
The
wrestler.
current.
Yeah.
Sorry, the current. Can you talk about that title and promotion? Can you tell us about the how you got the title, how important the title is, what you're gonna do with the title, and that promotion you're in?
Yes. I was there from the inception of it. They decided to have a tournament to crown the first ever champion, and I went all the way through. I won the tournament clean sweep. Last match was more or less a street fight. That meant a lot to me because it was my first real table spot that I did in the match. And winning it was a lot because this is a new company that decided to put their existence on my shoulders, believing that I can carry the company in its first years going forward. So it was a tremendous honor that they chose me to be their representative. I've been having match of the night for that company ever since. It's going to be 2 years. coming up soon. We just had an anniversary show. So I'm the only one undefeated in this place. I don't see myself losing at any point. The storylines that they're coming up with and the things that they're doing is so great. I just think because it's a new company, there's a lot of ups and downs and learning experiences. But once they get everything smoothed out, it's going to be the one of the best places to work out in the Boston, Massachusetts area.
You have any warnings or words of advice to your next opponent?
Oh, just watch my videos. You'll see. I'm 370 pounds. I fly like a cruiserweight, and I hit even harder. So, better be faster than me. You better come up with a different strategy because so far nobody has to find a way to beat me yet.
Okay. So us wrestling fans just love to hear funny stories of that happens in the back or on the road. So do you have any of those funny road stories you can share?
Um, one to come. Well, one was an injury actually. I almost lost my left eye. Believe it or not. I
Oh,
was rolling out of the ring. My tag partner was coming into the ring. He kicked me square in the eye.
dang.
Um, so I'm on the outside thinking, like, did someone cut me? Like, what's going on here? So I go back into the ring, and then when I got tagged back in, my cornea was cut in half. I didn't realize it, so I was literally seeing double. I finished the match. I go to the back, and the guy who did it is trying to help me to the back, and then he puts me in the wrong room where the was supposed to be, but the doctor's somewhere else. He goes, "Don't worry, I got the doctor for you." And then I'm in this room knowing that I can only see half of whatever, and I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes, like waiting for the doctor. Like this son of a gun got me. So and I'm right now as I'm sweating, the sweating is getting into the eye. Oh,
No.
that pain I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Right.
So I told him I was going to get him back, and I put his luggage in a different car as we were going home. So it took him another month before he got his luggage back.
Nice, nice, nice. So in NAW, you were a champion there, I believe I read.
Yeah, I was the heavyweight champion there.
Okay, so is there any funny stories going with NAW? How you won that? How that was going on? And
I wouldn't say funny. It was I was taking on the champion, and I wasn't supposed to win. Um and then it was a call at the last second of putting the title on me, and the champion didn't take it too well.
okay,
So as we were going out there, and it was very difficult to call the match with him because I can feel the bitterness. And then I pretty much told him like, look, we're about to go out there. We have a general idea. If you're gonna shoot, let's shoot. And you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna come out on top. Or let's work this out and figure it out. So I was unsure until the first lockup. And then I realized, all right, he's gonna play ball. So I was getting ready to shoot in the world title match to see what happens. But everything went according to plan.
shoot, man, that'd be epic to see. So in a match, you have a referee, you have two wrestlers or four wrestlers up at the tag team, whatever, and you have people back in the back and stuff like that. How important is the communication that happens in the ring to make a match go successfully?
Oh, extremely. The communication is not there, all hell could break out. And in this day and age, the fans know when something goes wrong. And you don't want to be that guy. And the way social media is, it can go anywhere and everywhere. And different places you can tell how the communication is, how important they treat the referee, how the referee is also a key component to everything. Um, BCW just is getting that with the communication with the wrestlers and referees and
Mhm.
the guys in the back, so that's good. I just finished. I actually had a debut match for Three Legacies Wrestling with Ricardo Rodriguez's school,
Okay.
and very much, you get the WWE mindset of how matches go and how things need to go in a certain order. And their referees was right on it, where we had a time limit, we got to hit the time, don't go over. And it was different to know that, all right, this is being taken in a different direction. That I got to go by a new set of ideas, and to see if I could hang with it. And this is coming from a guy who's been in the biggest company on the planet. So it was definitely a learning experience, and you can tell that communication is huge in this place.
Awesome, man. So how was the competition in NAW?
It was very good. It was a different slew of talents from. I'm usually the biggest guy in my matches, so dealing with guys who are strong like me, but on a smaller scale, and dealing with guys who are just incredibly fast and agile. It was different where I went to each match very much differently. Like, all right, I got to go at this a different way, and I got to make my match different from the last one. And it was very interesting in NAW.
NAW have any worthy competitors?
Um, one of my yeah, Sebastian Cage. I wanted that to be so much better match than we had because we had like a ton of things in our minds to do, but because we had to do something storyline based, it kind of took away from it. So that would be one of my dream opponents to one of my dream matches to have again because he's a very good friend and I know how good he is. So I like to run that back with him one day.
Awesome, man. So, can you talk about your passion for the wrestling business and how it all started for you at the House of Glory with amazing Red as a trainer? How was that?
Um, it was great because his training and at that school is a lot different from I could only assume other like New York City based training or training all around. You have to learn the basics. He drills that into your head. Gotta learn the basics. Once you do that, if he has to feel comfortable with you in the ring, if he feels comfortable with you that you can handle yourself, he'll throw you inside the ring, and then it's all right. Can you do these drills correctly? Not just not just doing it, to just to do it, but do it with a little sizzle. Make sure it's visually good as well as technically good. Um, and once you get comfortable in there, and once he feels you're comfortable in there, he kicks it up a little bit more and a little bit more. So, and then he loves like the way he sees the business, and he wants to make sure. So when he talks to you, he talks to you, and it's all about taking everything he's saying and just applying it. But compared to from other stories I hear from other places, I lucked out, and it was very fun to be there. And he makes it more fun to be there.
Okay. House of Glory, that's over in Queens, right? New York.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Are there a lot of big wrestling opportunities over in NYC?
There's a lot of promotions, but and opportunities you really have to try to make it on your own. If any promotion gives you just a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a chance, you have to make it the best you can because a lot of these companies, everyone knows a lot of people in the five boroughs. So you'll see one wrestler if he does good here, he's going to get booked over there. So any opportunities you get in New York, you have to make it the best you can to get people talking because that's the only way you're going to keep getting booked in all these different places because they pretty much use a lot of the same people left and right
Favorite male wrestler of all time?
of all time. Shawn Michaels.
Favorite current male wrestler?
Ooh, um, probably Kenny Omega.
Favorite female of all time?
Ooh, gotta go China.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about current?
Karen, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Yeah. Okay. Are you an MJF fan?
Extremely.
Okay. All right.
And then I've known him before he made it, and to see the
Really?
way he is now, awesome. Like he was always the character that you see, but now he's just turned all the way up.
So he was the same MJF in the Indies that he is now, but a little bit higher, a little bit turned
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Like he's always been that jerk that you want to punch, but when you because I've been in locker rooms with him and stuff like that, so I've seen him the way he's progressed, and to see him now is like if you knew him, you're not shocked of where he is.
So, now is he like that? Not wrestling? Does he live that life all the time like that?
I mean, we haven't hung out, but from what I've seen, if he's cool with you, then you'll see another side of him. But if any opportunity or if he's in a surrounding that he's not 100% comfortable with, he's MJF.
All right, cool. Mount Rushmore.
Ah, oof. Uh, Dusty, Sting,
Mm-hmm.
Sean and Macho Man.
Sting's my favorite, so he's my top wrestler. Died to meet him. I've got 2 Funko Pops autograph from him, but I send them in and get them autographed. So I can't wait to meet him. So.
I met him.
There's
Great
you.
guy.
Yeah, man. So, what can you tell us about I would say your best friends? Are they is it private party?
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, both of them are. Mark Quinn's my best friend. Isaiah's very close friend, but and we train at House of Glory together. So we have quite about a years with each other.
So, is there some stories you can tell us about being their bouncer?
It was different. It started off as a favor because they wanted to try something new, a part of their entrance where the bouncer would open the velvet rope and let them in, and they just said, "Hey, Cruz, you want to do it?" I go, "Okay," and I jumped in the car with them, and a few places, we did it. Um, it was a lot of trial and error at first because I would open the velvet rope, but then part of the the rope broke, so we would try to fix it somehow. It was always a disaster. Then I would carry around a serving tray with shots in it. So everyone thought it was alcohol, but it was really Gatorade. But then the cup spilled one time and it destroyed a ring, so I got yelled at. So yeah, and we went from shot glasses to the big shot glasses that don't tip over. So it was a lot of trial and error with them. But it was always fun to work with them and to see them call a match. It's so different and so weird. Like they can start calling a match, they'll walk away for 20 minutes, come back and start calling it again. And I'm like, what are you doing? But it got me into a few places where I was able to have my own singles matches with them. So being with them was fun. I already knew that if they ever got the call, it was about them. It wasn't about me. I was just happy to add to their entrances and add to their matches, and it was a fun time with both of them.
Do you still talk to those guys?
Yeah, I talk to Mark every other day, and Isaiah on special occasions will reach out, or if we see something that we like on social media, we'll just send it to each other.
So we talked about AEW, your dark match, and I know you said that you think that AEW is the hottest brand today. Have you got any good advice or different names in the business from anybody over there? Do you keep on getting good advice or
For myself personally,
yeah?
uh, just to me as a personal thing, just to get in better shape. Like it's impressive what I do with my size, but it's always get in better shape because you know, the being the big guys is cool and all, but after a certain amount of time, slim down and to look better and feel better. So I always got that. Like, don't drop a tremendous amount of weight because I get compared to John Cronus from the Eliminators, how he was a big guy in ECW, but then when he lost all that weight, he wasn't the same wrestler. So I always feared of if I ever lost too much, would I fall into that category? So, but besides that, always stand out. Always find a way to stand out. You can never go wrong by standing out. And if someone could pick out one thing from a match to remember you, then you did your job.
Awesome, awesome. So, any cool interactions with the guys that made the bigs, like the WWE guys and AEW guys, other than the Billy Gunn? And but is there anybody other cool ones like that?
Let me see. I met Elijah Burke, who thought I was Samoan, and I kind of just ran with it because I'm a big guy. So he was like, "You must be Samoan." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Samoan. Why not?" And so we
Oh,
joked about how my character would be for a Samoan character. In my head, I'm like, "All right, I'll just tweak it because I'm Puerto Rican." Um, so that was pretty fun. I hung out with Sammy Guevara. I shot for his vlog 2 different times, and that was both interactions were fun. And then I became Fat Batman because of his second vlog for a little bit.
all
That was
right.
pretty funny. Other than that, spoke to Ricky Starks. He liked me and he actually put me over for about 5 seconds on my dark match, and that was cool. It was yeah, those are the ones that stand out in my head.
How about Andy Indies? Any people stand out in the indies that you?
Um, Off the top of my head, a guy named Darius Carter. We would speak every so often when we were in the same show, and we'll talk. We'll shoot the shit. So he's always cool to talk to, and he always and we're interested of what the other one's doing. Um, Other than that, trying to think off the top of my head. And, working with a guy named TJ Marconi makes you think differently. A guy who's 6 foot and change and who's a giant, but he makes sure everybody gets their own little, take on matches and stuff like that. And he was the first one to show me that, if you're the ring general, you can control a match of multi-man people. And it was always cool to work with him also.
Awesome. So can you walk us through the biggest match of your life?
Um, well, excluding the AW one, probably me winning the BCW title. Again, it was more of a badge of honor for a new company to put their straps on my shoulders, and me carrying the company has been almost 2 years now. So going into that match, I knew I had to put on the best match possible. I had to get everybody talking. Everyone had to know my name by the time that show ended. So it was a lot of tremendous pressure, but I think I actually accomplished the goal.
Do you ever say, "Man, I can't do this anymore," or do you? Is this
No,
it?
I haven't hit that point yet. Usually the next day I'm sore, banged up, and especially if I have to go to work the following day, it's like, ugh, I hate my life. Even with the injuries, I love it. I'm not gonna. It'll be a while before I stop.
Okay. One Division Pro. Tell us about that.
A new company, also in the New York City area, and I recently became their Imperial World Champion.
Okay.
Um, this is a company that does things differently. They have a select set of rules where it's only singles matches. Um, Usually it's about 5, 6 matches to a card. Also very much structured based to where we have a time limit. You have this is what's going to happen. You got to hit it. If you don't, the consequences. Um, and For them, it was different. I came in as a battle royal tryout, and they liked what I saw in that battle royal, and I just kept going and going, and then I finally won the the title, and it was great. It was something that I was chasing since I started there. I got it, and now I have we have a show this Saturday where I'm defending the Imperial World Title against a former champion. So this is going to be a dogfight on Saturday.
You have any words for that guy?
Oh, he's seen my stuff, so he better duck because once I throw that lariat, it's over.
It's over. Okay,
Yeah.
it's all right. There you go. So in the Indies, I don't know if it's the same way as in the AEW, WWE, but I doubt it. So in the Indies, I hear a lot of guys like yourself mention that they get there 3 or 4 hours before the event. They help set up the ring. They stay long, help take down the ring, and all this stuff. How important is that as a wrestler to do that, or is it something that people do that to get their foot in the door? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. If you're not on the show, if you have the opportunity to get there early and help set up, you're showing the promoter that you're willing to put in the work to get an opportunity to wrestle for his company and whatnot. So you definitely do it on that purpose. For a guy who's on the show that does it, it just shows the respect you have for the wrestling business that and you respect the company you're in. If you can help set up or help take down or you're not just showing up as a superstar to do your match and just go home. If you're part of the process to help put together or take down, you're showing not only the other wrestlers that hey, he's on the show, but he's still helping out. It just shows how much respect you have for the wrestling business.
Is there a lot of guys on the Indies that say, "Screw you, gonna go"?
Uh yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, there's some of them that just show up on time to do their match and then they don't even stay late, they just go, which it's everyone's different prerogative. I'm not going to say everyone does the right thing, but I mean, more or less, you know what company you want to do that for or what not to do. But yeah, it's not required, but you're just showing people the type of person you are.
Well, I heard something about a week ago that I was like, man, I'm not gonna get into that. I don't need you to expose it, but you guys go through hell on earth in these indie matches. I mean, I have never been to an indie match until last year, February, when I went to a brand down here in the Panhandle called XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling, ran by Adrian Whisper.
Okay.
And they had AIWF champion Jackson Slade and stuff like that. And the first time I went to an indie show, they beat the piss out of each other, and it was, I mean, it hurt. It had to hurt the way it was bad. And what I'm going at is, then I heard last week you guys don't make that much money, and you guys still put your bodies through hell. Where do you get that boost of energy to say, you know what, it might only be $100, but I'm going to go do it? Or is it just because you love the sport?
Yeah, another combination of both. If you love it, um, the money doesn't have a factor in it to a degree. Um, you're always trying to find a platform to perform your craft. If the payoff doesn't, equal the, what you desire, but as long as you get something, there's been times where I was paid with $10 and a scratch off, but it was just an opportunity to work there, and I lost that scratch off, so it's terrible.
You lost it. You
Um,
don't know if he won.
yeah, I don't know. But
It's probably that
it's
guy's
about,
luggage.
yeah, exactly right. It's about the experience, man.
Yeah.
I do it for the experience. If I can go to a company to show what I can do, if I can get some eyes, if I can get at least a few people in there to, you know what, that was a good match. I'm gonna follow him on social media. It'll be worth it. To certain guys, money is a factor. If you don't pay, a certain amount, they're not going to agree to go, or they won't, or they'll find somebody else. You also have to have a plan. Me, I'm fortunate enough to have a full-time job, so to me, money isn't a huge factor. Um, so I kind of luck out in that. Not most guys don't have the opportunity. But yeah, some guys do it for the love of the business and go, you know what? Like, I put myself through hell. I've done front flips to the outside on concrete and stuff like that just to make the fans, go crazy and nuts. And I'm hurting, but I think, if someone leaves that place thinking about me, I did it, it was worth it. Um, Other guys just go about it differently. But for the most part, yeah, if a lot of guys just want a chance to do what they do, and if it gets them a video later on, then that'd be awesome. But yeah, you really have to love it to get paid, low or high or whatever the case may be.
So what can you tell us about your return to SWO, on May 5th? You were there on May 5th. What was that return
Yeah.
like?
Oh, that was different. I wasn't there for quite a while, and when I got the call to go back, um, I felt great because the SWO crowd is a very homegrown crowd. Everyone knows everybody. The same people go every month, and I got quite a few messages from the fan base saying, "Hey, we miss you. When are you coming back?" I go, "Hey, when they want me back, I'll be back." And when I finally got through the curtain, it was just a great feeling because everything felt right at the moment. And we had a killer match that night. So, and it's under new management. So I'm just hoping that, new management likes me, so they'll bring me back again. But
Okay.
that was fun going back to SWO.
Any huge goals for before you're done?
Yes, I want to wrestle in Japan and Mexico.
Japan and
I
Mexico.
think it's very important, especially to Japan. The Japanese fans treat wrestling like we treat football. That is the greatest thing on earth. Very sacred, and they respect it so much. And I'm a fan of strong style. I'll beat the hell out of you. So if I could get the opportunity to wrestle just once in Japan, or the Corrigan Hall or anywhere else, then that'll be my bucket list. I could die a happy man. And Mexico, just because I respect the Mexican wrestling. Especially Conan and Rey Mysterio and all that stuff. I could be in the same ring that they walked through in the beginning. I think that'll be a personal feather in my cap. So if I could hit those two places, I'll be fine.
I had an interview with Mark Jindrak last,
Oh,
I think, Tuesday, and he
nice.
wrestled in Mexico, and
Mhm.
he said that and no disrespect to AEW, WWE, he said that Mexico was far better to wrestle for because of the passion that they have for the wrestling business over there. He said he loved it. So, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So place would be New Japan and Mexico, huh? That'd be great.
Yep.
So the floor is yours, my guy. It has been a pleasure talking to you for the last 50 minutes. If you have anything you could need to say to your upcoming promotions, anything you need to say to the guys you're going against, or even tell the fans what you need to tell them, here you go. Go ahead.
I'm the new age Bam Bam Bigelow Vader. I'm here to do the shock and awe. I'm here to show the world that a 300 plus guy can fly. I'm here to entertain. It's I care about you fans. I'll put myself through hell to do that. So if you have the chance to see me or follow me on social media, Big Daddy Cruz 00 or BD Cruz 00 on Twitter, follow me and you will not be disappointed. I have a few things coming up. I tend to do more traveling for the rest of the year. I'm trying to go to different states, different areas, just to spread the word of the Love Doctor, the Love Bear, and the Smooth Operator. So I'm a double champion right now. I want to add more titles to my reigns, and you just got a taste of what I can do. There's a whole lot more to come from me.
You acknowledge the tribal chief before we leave?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Prediction. Tell me your prediction. You think Jimmy's going to turn on Jay? Do you think Jay's going to beat Roman?
No.
Do you think? Well, go ahead.
I'm pulling for Jay. I want Jay to win in my heart, but I think deep down, the tribal chief is going to shut him down, and Jimmy's not going to be a factor at it. It's Jay or nothing. But honestly, I think tribal chief is going to pull it out in this one. So it's about whoever's after Jay.
Who's going to dethrone him? Anybody in the family?
Honestly, it has to be The Rock. If anybody's going to dethrone him, I mean, I know everybody wants Cody to finish the story, but since Cody didn't do it at WrestleMania, the fact that if you're going to think about making us wait a year for that, I think it takes away from the sizzle. At this point, The Rock has to show up. When, where, I don't know. Hopefully WrestleMania, but it'll be a major miss if The Rock doesn't show up to dethrone Roman Reigns.
Not to discredit you, and this is your interview, but I agree with you, Cody Rhodes. That should have been done at WrestleMania. I believe WWE dropped the ball and got him involved in stupid other storylines like Brock Lesnar and Sami Zayn and KO, and that was dumb. And I just lost. And I like Cody Rhodes is great, but WWE dropped the ball on that. Oh, yeah. I mean, So last question is, who's your favorite promoter?
Favorite promoter right now, it has to be BCW. Eric Rosa is my favorite promoter. He takes care of me. I take care of him. I'm his champion. Every promoter is great. Don't get me wrong, but he's the one that took special interest in me.
One more. It's a TikTok question. You ever watch TikTok?
I do watch TikTok.
So you got this. This is the $1 million question. Who is the greatest WCW champion ever?
Sting.
David Arquette.
Wow.
Well, that's what I thought, right?
Jesus Christ.
So hold on. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to play the exit song. Thank you for coming on board, BD. I love the interview. I hope to see you in action on the web, wherever. Guys that's watching, that's going to watch, check BD Cruz out. He's the big daddy. He got things going on. He's a smooth operator, as his song said. So, guys, hang tight. Thank you for everything, and we'll have a good night. Extreme.